Listen.
Do a little, trying to dress the room a bit. What's going on, mother lovers? How are you out there? That was, yeah, you nearly caught me there doing my makeup. Like, let me just, but with the table and that, trying to sort it out. What's going on? We're back with some more of some shit you might not never know nothing about. That's right. I'm your host, Mice Diggy, alongside my co-host right here, Dan DNA. What's going on, mi amigo?
Good. You right?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Yeah. Had a good rest.
Yeah.
Little couple weeks off of doing all this gigging and running around and all that. So it's been, I feel like I'm, definitely got my energy back to where I want it to be.
Yeah. You got more coming up.
Yeah. There's more coming up now. This weekend off to like Music à la Rue.
What is that?
That's how to say it. It's a festival with Smokey Joe and the Kid. And then we come back, I think I come back and then I do another run out there with them in France. And then after that, we've got, I do one of the Pete Tong gigs in Newmarket. And then the next day, go and do Boomtown Festival. Yeah, remember Boomtown Festival?
Yeah.
Boy, we got some...
Wonder how that's going to have changed.
Yeah, for real, innit? What? How people are going to be like? Yeah,
and just how, because it was quite small when we went, wasn't it? That was like probably like 2013 or something.
Yeah. True. That's true, actually. It's got quite bigger. Yeah, for sure.
It was good because of the size of it. It was like a manic, small festival.
Yeah, that shit was mad Stanley Kubrick-y, boy. It's like the way people were dressed. It was like as if, like Stanley Kubrick just took a whole bunch of mushrooms and just spewed out all of this, these different characters. And yeah, it was amazing, man. The backdrops as well, man. Heavy. Yeah, that was some next shit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Shout out to my brother Smokey Joe and the Kid. Shout out to Yoshi, the original Yep, the gangster. Big up PJ, you know what I mean? Max, Matt, all the crew, man. Clem, you know what I mean? They're definitely a good team out there. Jules, shout out to Jules, man. He makes sure that everyone's where they need to be at the right time as well, man. That's the road manager. So yeah, man, looking forward to that. And other than that, man, just been working getting in the lab, getting more work done. Pitch, I'm working with Pitch 92, so look out for, you know what I mean, some new material dropping soon. Also a new video. I ain't gonna spread it yet because, you know what I mean, the artists might want to let the word out there when they're ready. But yeah, there's some, look out for some bits and bobs dropping soon.
This is the Pitch stuff or?
Some features that I've done. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to. There's a few
things coming out.
Yeah, there's a few things gonna be. Yeah, I mean, gotta keep working, man. So there's a few bits and bobs gonna drop, but I'm really looking forward to the album. You know what I mean? At the moment, it's still in the process of like demos and whatnot. I'm finishing off writing about 2 more tracks, and then got to start going. And then sort out the feature stuff, and then go in and just like bam, 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 just record it all.
What one's this? We're just gonna keep it.
Pitch, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you meant the other thing.
The other thing will get mentioned. These trying to dig deep in there. The other thing, when the time's ready, you know me, man. I like to keep it old school, man. You don't need to know.
If there was an opportunity to be a fly on the wall, some people would kill.
Yeah.
At the moment, well, for the last 6 months, people would kill to know what's been going on.
Yeah. I just want to, you know what I mean? To stack up, like load up the ammo.
Yeah, of course.
And then when it's time, like people realize that.
No, I think it's the best. That's someone said to me couple of years back when I was putting together a documentary, and one of the people we interviewed was saying, yeah, you should just be leaking stuff all the time from it to build interest in it. It's one way of doing it, but I liked the old thing, you know, back when you'd buy actual records or tapes or whatever, and you didn't even know something was happening until it sort of came out, and then there was just word of mouth, and then you heard it somewhere, and then, you know. So I know it's probably not like that anymore, the way people consume music, but it would be good if it was.
Well, this is the thing. I do feel like, like obviously we got a problem of, you know, the level of how long people, what's the word for it? Where, you know, people can't listen for so long.
Attention span.
Attention span. Like the level of attention span nowadays is low. But I think they kind of transitioned that over to music. And it weren't necessarily like that, but then it's like, as long as they put it out there to seem so, then that's how people, actually it's true, I want to hear this and then this, you know. And so because of that, the whole dynamic of everything has changed, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all changed into like, okay, so now I've got to like put out as much as I can and get my streams and rare. But then on the other side, what does that do to the quality of the music? And then how do people accept it now when it's just there in abundance, when it's just like you're flooding people with loads of different tunes and loads of different music and whatnot? Does it lose any value when you do that? You know, I always wondered that, and I kind of sense that a bit, but I'm not 100% on it. And so for me, it's just making sure that the quality is there, so that it, you know, there's tunes from how long ago people were still like, yo, this tune, blah, 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 blah. And that to me means a lot, because it's like, that was the ideas. I want to be like a granddad, 80 years old, and then still proud of this shit, not thinking like, that was when I was young, though. You know, now I
dropped 20 hot verses. That's it.
Yeah. So, you know, I think each to his own, man. But yeah, for me, it is more about just making sure that the quality is there and that it has the longevity. So when it drops, it's like, right, regardless, you know, I know over time.
We've probably talked about it before, but it's, I think it's like round about MySpace time. Because there was always that demand to put something else out, because some other people were putting something out, so you had to have, you know, a new piece of music every couple of weeks or something, you know, and people would put it on their front page if you know, if you release something. So I think it was around that sort of time, and that's also when they started getting people to put their music into genres. They give you 3 genres to pick from, and so you were sort of having to, like, really, categorization is down to like the fans. It's not down to the artist to categorize what they do. You know, but once they started giving you those free categories, you had to then say, I'm putting myself in these 3 little boxes. And
that's exactly it, man.
You know,
they've already, exactly that.
It's because it's the industrialization of, you know, MySpace is like the industrialization of music. It's complete. So it starts in like the mid-90s. You start getting all the corporate takeover of all the independent labels, and then when MySpace comes up, you've got this sort of final nail in the coffin of like, right, categorize yourself. That's what I was gonna say, what you are.
So do you think it's like it kind of compartmentalizes the art in a way, or the artist, I guess, because it's like now, like you said, you have to, are you this, what type of artist are you, what type of music, you know, like, and putting yourself in these boxes. So from then, and then now these boxes are like out in the open, whereas before it wasn't like that as much, innit?
Yeah. And they also, like, they've only got a certain number of categories, so you can't put like what you would really like to categorize yourself as, because it hasn't got that thing in there. Exactly. So it's got like a limited number of descriptions.
You just got to pick, like,
you got to finally put yourself in a box. Exactly. I
think, would you, I don't know, would I be, you know, and then now you're like, I have to make up this scenario where, you know what I mean? I guess that's me. Like, I just made up this scenario where that's the option I would choose out of everything, you know what I mean? And it's amazing because, that's how the world works, boy. And people we don't even realize, but
put yourself in a box.
You put yourself in a box, and then now that box is you. You know what I mean? You don't even realize it's just a box that you ticked. It wasn't you.
Yeah.
It's just a box that you tick. But now the power of, you know, anyone using that title that you've ticked could tick you off.
Yeah,
in a minute. Will tick you off. Just because, no, I don't talk about my...
Yeah.
Like, right,
talk about my box like that.
Yeah, sounds like a stripper scrap, boy. Talk about my box like that. She's got a nasty box, you know. It's like a fish and chip box over there. Yeah, don't talk about my box like that. Yeah, it's for real. That's what's happening, man. You're ticking all these boxes and not realizing, boy.
It's the industrialization process. You know, 'cause that's dehumanizing, ain't it? The industrialization is dehumanizing.
Yeah.
Because now you're thinking about like big industrial warehouses full of stuff and all that sort of thing. So when they're like, what category of music are you? You got choice of 3 and rap ain't even in there. Or noise hip hop.
Yeah.
It might say like crunk or something, and then you're
I
suppose I'd probably closest thing is like indie crunk.
Indie crunk, yeah. And that remember that was going on with the hip hop and R&B thing.
Yeah.
Where it'd be like, and now in the hip hop charts, number 2, and it'd be an R&B tune. You're like, what the hell? Like, what? How? But because no one says anything, they can carry on in it. They can carry on doing it. Yeah, and that's probably happened with a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, it's when big corporations take over.
Yeah, it's just been steered into this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now all wear tight pants. Look, everyone's wearing tight pants. Yeah. You should wear tight pants as well.
Well, it's shopping. That's the obvious place, isn't it? Because they've got the pictures on the walls of people that are meant to be you. So you know, you're like, that's what you're meant to wear. Yeah.
You're meant to win the lottery. You're meant to use Dettol.
Yeah.
You're meant to brush with Colgate.
Yeah. That's it.
You're meant to use Sudafed.
But people will argue with you as well and say there's not enough people. There's not enough people like me on the advert. I'm not being sold enough stuff. Okay, well, you really want to be sold stuff?
Yeah, then, man. You want to sell these? You know what I mean? These ibuprofen, like extra strength.
How about we put you
for your kids? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel better now. I feel like I'm represented.
Yeah, I mean, this is messy, man. That whole it cracks me up, man. The way he's like, oh wow, now I feel like buying one of those now. Yeah, I mean, I never felt like it before, but now like I see someone that looks like me, and then now I'm gonna buy. Yo, shit's mad, man. Shout out to the crew locked in chat room, the Common Sensors, King Chico, what's going on? The Masked Detective UK, good to see you back, brother. He says, question. Are you killing time, or is time killing you, or are you killing life, or is life killing you? Woo! Something tells me he's got bars.
Hang on.
Oh, that's where the bomb is. Mind blown. Yes, man. Yes, enjoying, bruv. And you know what? We got to get you on, man. We got to get you on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it maybe next week or the week after. But yeah, let's talk about it. Because, Masked Detective goes in. He definitely goes in, man.
He better wear a mask.
Dropping you better not be in it. Imagine he came wearing a mask and that. He's like, yeah. He's got to hide his identity anyway. I get that bit.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that's the mad part about the mask as well, man. It's like I see some of these youths and I'm like, right, like you can get away with that now. Like you can just be on the bus with a mask, on the train with a mask, just looking bait, just looking like you've got something to do or something to take from someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And wear a mask like that, no one knows who you are.
No.
And no one's batting an eyelid either.
No. Whereas like 3 years ago, different story.
Like grannies are happy to walk past you. Yeah, before, 3 years ago, they'd have been crossing the road, like bam, they see you, like Quayfar, they ain't even waiting for the zebra crossing, no red lights, they're like bam, just
now
cross the road.
Now they're fist bumping you if they see you with a mask on.
They got gloves on, but they're doing it. Elbow bump. See granny just, just keep your distance, bro, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy, man. And what with, so obviously we had a crazy ass heat wave, D, like apocalyptic, apparently, do you know what I mean? Yeah,
it just crept up on us.
In
summer.
Yeah, in summer. Like, it's just the weirdest time for it to happen as well, man. Yo, shout out to IBMCs. You're more in the building. What's going on? Good to see you lot, man. Evening all. Black Einstein up in here. Yes, rest up. Everyone send loves to Black Einstein, man. He's getting well soon. You know what I mean? He's got to rest up. He works too hard. That's why, man. This dude's everywhere.
He walks the walk.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So, you know, obviously, like, we had this whole thing where they were telling us it was apocalyptic. And, you know, which is quite a interesting word to use when you're talking about...
Summergeddon.
Yeah, it's Summergeddon. Is that what people are saying?
Right,
yeah, that's a good one, though.
I don't know why no one used
That's a good one. Yeah, for real. But it's like, all right, let alone if you even look up the word, what it means. Do you know what I mean? It's like, bruv, it was like a day and a half, 2 days of like extra hot weather. Other than that, it's pretty normal, like you said, for a summer in the UK.
Most people know what to do. Stay indoors.
And, you know, so, you know, I've had a few back and forths with people about it, obviously, because you got this whole thing, this global warming that's happening, and it's gradual, apparently. So that's why the summers are the way they are, and the winters seem to be
2 days of heat.
Yeah, the winters seem to be what they are, which is winter. I don't know how the whole global warming thing works exactly, but I'm sure you have to measure it by the winter, not just the summer. No?
Yeah.
So that would kind of mean that maybe this is an apocalypse. Like maybe it's not. Yeah, there might be like there's reports of people dying. We talked about like what is proof, what is reality before. So we shouldn't just jump on everything they're saying, especially when the certain numbers they use is like, you know, and so people are saying, oh, it might not be an apocalypse for you, but for some people it is. And then I had to go back and check again the meaning of apocalypse. And I was like, nah.
It's not a personal thing.
yeah. Like, it's not. And, you know, that, obviously, rest in peace to the people that have passed. If they have, you know, we don't know. That apparently it's thousands of people from Spain and Italy. And then it's likely that that's to do with dehydration.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to say apocalypse on their graves.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the kind of the bottom line. But then also it's like, okay, so if it's that bad in that region, which is like, you know, what is it, southern Iberian area in it. So like,
quite far down
southern peninsula of
near North Africa,
Europe and all that. Then what's going on closer to the equator? Maybe that's how we could measure what's going on in the hotter places. Are we hearing about deserts suddenly forming? Like like thousands of people. Yeah. You know, are they dying now? Or
no, it's true.
Are we hearing that? And if we're not,
I don't think so.
Can we still talk about apocalyptic? Come on, man. It's like people just don't use their brain. That's what I'm getting to anyway. And it's really fun that we have people every week like you lot, Mask Detective, IBMCs, you're more people like that drop gems, King Chico. Do you know what I mean? That aren't afraid to put some knowledge out there for people. Oh, right, I never heard about that, you know? Like last week, was it BLA was talking about how the word smart, the etymology of smart was to be in pain. And then we checked it up and it was like, yo, and I'd heard it before. I was like, yo, I swear he's onto something there. And it's true. And then to think like all your little smart devices, what that really means. They're keeping you in pain, keeping you in something like, boy, that's it. That's all you need to know, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what we're here to do, give you some shit you might not never know nothing about. Last week we had our brother, DVG, come through and drop some gem-LMs on us. Jeez.
Yeah, it's good to have him back.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. Big up to the brother. He's gone through a lot over the last few months. And it's really good to see that, you know, he's still got his head above his shoulders. He's level grounded. You know what I mean? And we send our love and prayers to him and his family, man. Definitely want to get you back on and catch up some more if it's helping as well, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he dropped some gems, man, about astrotheology. Like, I really love the stuff to do with Islam and astrotheology. And also, like, you know, how far we got into the number 9 business as well, man. That was really interesting. So you lot check out that show. That was last week's one. A lot of fun, man. this week I wanted to get someone on, but they're in another country, so we have to work out the timings and maybe have to do a pre-recording thing. So you know what I mean? We thought we'd catch up with you mother lovers, make sure everyone's good. Hit us up with the roll call, because you know what I mean? We always got to find out how blazed you mother lovers are getting. Shout out to the lab cats. I got some of that sour diesel. Yeah, some organic jugglings. Some Black Lamb Reserve organic jugglings. You know what I mean? Something you might not never know nothing about.
Yeah.
And then some Moroccan pollen. Star Dog.
Bit of
Go on, D. How you getting the strains? What other strains do you know? We should do a little game show. What strains does D know? What new strains do you gotta go like hunting for some strains that we've never heard of. We might not never know nothing about. Yeah, shout out to Master Detective. Look at that. It's all fear-based. They want your energy. Very true, man. I say to people, it's quite hard to be fully aware and conscious and make sort of right decisions when you're scared. Like you use discernment when you're scared, because in order to sort of break things down critically, you do need some level of calm, some level of balance. You know, some sense of like, okay, I've got this. But if you're in a state of fear, you know, everything's all like, and so that was the thing. It's like, yo, get to the bottom line then. What is it you're scared of? What is it you're scared of? And look into that. Like find out, why am I scared? What am I scared of? You know, and then it will kind of come to light. Like, oh, right, okay. Now I understand I'm not as scared, innit? Like Sun Tzu talked about knowing your ground, even though I know that book is, you know, but yeah, it's like knowing your ground and knowing your enemy's ground as well. So that way you know what ground each is on and what level you're at. Do you know what I mean? Without that, obviously you're going in blind. But you need to know, man. And for a few of us, it's like, okay, let me just find out what the hell's going on here.
They want you to make mistakes. So when you're in a state of fear, you're more likely to make mistakes. Or to make the wrong choice, or to make the wrong decision, or some sort of mistake. That's where they want you, really.
Yeah,
they want you in a place where you allow them to like control your decision.
Yeah.
So if you're panicking,
straight up,
you're going to make. If you're panicking, or you're in a situation where they want you to panic, you end up making the wrong decision, which is a decision that they can engineer then. Whereas as long as you can sort of verse yourself in these fear situations. I think that's what that Master Marks guy we had on. You know, it's like preparing yourself.
That's it.
For those situations.
That's it.
And then you're less likely to panic.
Yeah. Like if you
make a mistake.
If you went and like decided, you know, like a lot of people are talking about, let's go and learn how to grow veg and food and whatnot, and then you managed to cultivate enough and you learned how to do it, then met other people, you know, community or whatever, you're not really going to worry about that as much as there are the preppers and people that are. Do you know what I mean? You've got somewhere to grow your food and whatnot. It's so similar thing like that. It's like, okay, what is the problem? And then how can I solve this problem?
Yeah.
And you work from there. But then you make your decisions a lot better when you're calmer, when you're, all right, I've got this.
Yeah.
When you're ready for it. And I think that's all people need to do, man. It's quite simple, man, but yo, life is so hectic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The wrong things have us distracted and we're not focusing on the things that we need to. It's crazy, man.
Someone will probably mention it in the chat, but the Hegelian dialect.
Yeah, Hegelian dialect.
Problem, reaction and solution. So, you know, if you when there is a problem, the way you react is obviously what leads to some kind of solution. So
yeah.
If someone's creating a problem, your reaction allows them to create a solution. You know, that's the dialect really is between two people. It's about, you know, whoever presents the problem gets the reaction and then gets to present the solution.
Yeah.
So the best thing to be is the problem creator.
And then look how many problems there are right now.
Yeah.
Look at, like, every day you speak to someone and then some shit will come up about some problem that's going on with country or the world, or with economics, this, that. It's like, wow, no wonder. And it's a whole bunch of shit that really and truly, when we talk about reality, don't matter. Like, none of that matters.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The stuff that matters is within you and with you and around you. Like, you know what I mean? But we're so lost in it all, and it's easy for it to happen because it's the way we've been brought up. But man,
I'd like to create a bigger problem for people. If they present me with a problem, I present them with a problem back, because then they have to react, and then I get to provide the solution. Do you know what I mean? So if someone presents you with a problem, just present them with a bigger problem back.
That's hilarious. Present them with a bigger problem back. That's it.
But that's how that's how you get through arguments and everything. Is that they present you with something rather than just going no and reacting like that. Just think to yourself, what would create a bigger problem for them right now? If I said it, what would be the thing that would make them go? Because they're trying to get you to react.
Yeah, it's true. Where do you live? In my skin. Oh, okay. React, motherfucker. React. Mother lovers. Yeah. What a strange world. Shout out to Nice One JM in the building. What's going on, bruv? Okay, so the roll call has been set. Pardon me. Let's see what's going on out here. It's a good one. Master Detective, it's strange how they complain about carbon dioxide, yet the trees, etc., need to produce oxygen, and carbon dioxide is their food. This is the one thing I've been wondering. Like, how does that work? When they've been saying that about levels of CO2, let alone, like, we don't know whether... No, please, calm down. Calm down. Let me shoot out. All right, you lot got a bit too crazy for that. Yeah. So say it again. Say it again. It's just strange. It's like that's what we've always learned. Trees breathe in CO2. So doesn't that make sense that, you know? But let alone that, there's not even like 100% confirmation on the fact that, you know, the rise in CO2 levels has anything to do with temperature as well.
No.
It's just another theory that has been worked on for so long that now people forget that and they just work on it like it's fact and put the news out there the same way. But yeah, look that up, you lot. It's pretty deep, man. How like, even with that stuff, there's a war going on outside. There's a war going on outside nobody's safe from. Yeah, that whole shit is weird. It's just like, wow, that's how things can just become, reality, or some form of a fact. I should say, become a fact. Some information becomes a fact.
Yeah.
Because a whole bunch of people just like, they build an industry. Consensus reality. They just build a whole, a bunch of establishments, a whole... there's an economic structure around it, everything for you to, reminding you everywhere, like, pay for the plastic bag. Yeah, because there's too much plastic out there. So you got to pay for it. We're going to still make the plastic, but we're going to make you pay for it because there's too much out there.
Only be 5p.
You paying for it. Bruv, it's like 20p.
I know.
And you know where half of that goes?
In landfills?
Half of the money.
Oh, right.
To the government.
Oh, they get money for the plastic bags. Oh, yeah. That's why I keep putting the prices up.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so many things like that that don't make sense. Just like what Master Detective was saying. It's like, it's just odd, but we just accept it, man. We're just out here, living that life. Do you know what I mean? Getting blazed.
We've got to do the. We talked about it off air about the electric car show, a show on electric cars.
Yeah, definitely.
And
the oddities.
Electric car apocalypse.
Yeah, electric car apocalypse.
whatever. We found out a lot of different things, didn't we, at the same time about electric cars. So we should put all that together into some kind of presentation.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Very interesting stuff because, it's just stuff that baffles you where you're like, wow. But what it boils down to is as long as we don't know, then we don't even know that we need to care.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we're not even going to ask the right questions, let alone ask about the subject. You know what I mean? And that's the best way to hide it. It's almost like in plain sight. As long as you think something appears to represent, an idea in a certain way, that's all that matters. So you think you're doing good, but you're actually doing bad. And it's basically like that with nearly everything. Anything they push on you is just like, yo, opposite world. Okay, yeah. I'll go the other way, probably. You know what I mean? Anything I hear, I'm just like, oh, okay, so that means it's quite simple. Look at now, man. Look at all your brethren, all your family now. Now they can't, they're like, they just can't they can't turn and say to you, like, you know what? I think you can see it. You feel the aura. They respect you more. They might not want to say it, but they respect you more. So don't give up, mother lovers. Don't give up, man.
Yeah.
We're still here. We're still here in this together. Let's see what the roll call is saying, though. I know you lot love to show off, man. Yeah.
King Chico won. I don't know whether he's is that a strain of something, amnesia, or is it something he's got?
It could be both, but
right.
I'm pretty sure he's the strain.
Your is gonna on her way home to have some Tropicana Skittles.
Yeah, that's a nice strain. Tropicana Skittles.
I remember that one. Right.
Okay. IBM Caesar's right. It's a dialectic, a Hegelian dialectic. Yamor says fear interferes. I like the way she worded that. With the way your neurons communicate with each other. Definitely, man.
Yeah.
There's think about it like chemically, you know what I mean? Because that's what's going on inside us. It's all chemicals running around, and when you're talking about neurons, and there's like the stuff's moving around, and so that's why you get that feeling. Like it's not just like, oh my soul. When you're feeling something, it's actually your body is reacting. You know what I mean? And that's why you might start sweating when when I get vexed, you might see a little bead of sweat right down the forehead. Right, you might be pissed right now. You know what I mean? But it's because there's a chemical reaction going on. It's like, right. So, of course, when you're in fear, you know what I mean? There's a state that you're just like, oh, what should I, maybe, you know what I mean? You're not going to be thinking like how you should. You're not going to be thinking critically and like straightforward. It's going to be all, but what if, and then, that's it. You're going to make that mistake. So you just have to find that inner calm. You got to go through some fucked up shit. Just go through some real, go try, I don't know, jack someone. Just do something that's going to put you on the edge a few times. I think it's 17 times you got to rehearse something. I think about 17 times and then bam, after that, life will be easy. Everything was like, Oh, they said blah, 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 and and you'll be like, yeah, okay. So how do you know that they, you know what I mean? We all sweating and shit like, bro, calm down, man. Sit down. Do you want some tea? I got some peppermint tea. You know what I mean? Got some lemongrass. What you need, man? Do you want a vape? You want a CBD vape? Calm your fucked up ass down, man. What's wrong with you? The shit was on the TV. You think it's real. All of a sudden, like, there's bare acting on the TV.
Yeah.
But just because and we're not actors, we're real, and here is the news. Bam, people like,
I'm going to see if I can find the cast of I didn't see it yet, the anti-vax.
Yeah, apparently there's a new show we got to watch coming out on the Beeb. You know what I mean? You lot's favourite channel. Don't try to style it out. I know you lot still on iPlayer.
Yeah. What was it called? Someone might know what it was. It was on last night, I think, or night before, maybe. It's about a doctor who goes and spends time with people who are
what do you call it? Quaxine hesitant.
yes, that's right. And they've all got like, there's about 8 people, and each one of them's only got one opinion. Each one of them only got one objection to it, and if you could answer that one objection, then they'd probably be like, "Yeah, okay, I'll take it." Yeah. But I sort of had all the when I saw the list of objections, I had all the objections.
But I bet there was one of the most profound objections that they left out. That would just like trash everything. That would just be like, okay, does it actually exist? Does any
no,
of
that
this
weren't
exist?
in there.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Though, so they'll do all of that
to
steer you away from the vital question. Yeah. It's like all of this will just collapse if you can prove. You know what I mean, or this can be allowed to be publicly disproved, basically. But it's
a sort of traditional way of steering an argument that they use, propaganda type thing, that they just present you with like 9 different objections to something whilst hiding the actual objection. Yeah.
And it's amazing, like so many people we know that are like hip to at least like, no, I ain't doing none of it, I ain't involved, whatever, but they still don't know the vital fact, like the actual truth, the reality. They don't know the actual reality about studies that were done, over 100 years ago, trying to prove all of this stuff that disproved it, that actually went against everything they were trying to prove. They realized like, wow, we don't actually know how people get sick. We don't know how transmission happens because they couldn't prove it. People have no idea. And then you talk about it and they're like, yeah, so, you know what I mean? It's like, whoa, you should be like, can you send me some info about like how, because I need to understand this, because it is a thing that only until you sort of go through as much information as you can and then go through your own situations, understanding the reality. If I was to like, for instance, crush up some paracetamol in water and then decide to water my plants with it, would they live or die? You know what I mean? Would it be good for them or not? It's as simple
Probably
as
not,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's as simple as shit like that though. And then you realize like, wow, there's more to this than just, it's really easy to stay healthy in my opinion, but it's understanding it all. And but it's just like, they just make everything so complicated, and also make people they work on your soul, your emotions as well, and your temperament. And so it's made a lot of people sort of more attached to having some kind of ailment that they need help with.
Yeah.
And, it's almost like I wouldn't say like a trend, but it's a social behavior sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Where, and like not with every single person, like I'm not saying every single person's like that, but I think there are a lot of people that sort of use medical treat the mind to sort of be who they are and kind of express that, like you talk about projection sort of thing. And so it's very intricate, man, the way that the things work. But man, if you lot knew the reality, boy. But hit up our Telegram channel. We'll put some bits and bobs out there so people can really, because it's serious, man. I want a lot of people to really understand, not just like, I don't trust this. It's like, why? And that you don't even need to worry furthermore about anything that they're claiming. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's that simple, man.
It might actually be on tonight by the looks of it. This show.
Let
me just switch over. Let me transition. The BBC team spent a week trying to convince 7 anti-vaxxers to get the COVID jab amid their claims it contained deadly microchips and is a plot to depopulate the earth. So did any of them change their mind? So 7 anti-vax Britons spend 5 days living together in a house where they are bombarded with myth-busting scientific evidence about the vaccine. Bombarded. It sounds like an MK Ultra program, doesn't it? 5 days in a house, 7 people, 5 days in a house.
Yeah, they film them.
They come in your room at night.
Like Clockwork Orange business, boy.
Yeah. And so this is the people here. We've got Chanel, the vaccine could harm my baby.
Chanel's preggers.
Ethan, it could make me infertile. He looks infertile already. Naomi, I want to wait for long-term data. Mark, I'm sick of the government's pro-jab messages. That woman is the doctor. She says something else. How did I make that go away a minute ago? Oh yeah, that's it. Professor Hannah Fry. They had challenging views. I had to bite my cheek. Well, she sounds crazy. You got to bite your cheek. That's crazy.
Hannah Fry.
Luca, the jabs are a ploy to depopulate the earth.
Wow.
Vicky, the side effects are too scary. And Nazreen, I think the girl's called in the corner. And it said the jab is killing people.
Wow.
So, yeah, like you say, they don't mention the one thing. Each of these people's only got one view, by the way, as well. That's it. But Mark 50, I'm sick of the government's pro-jab messages. If the government stopped doing pro-jab messages, presumably, he'd just go and get the jab.
Yeah, that's what that sounds
like.
It's
the only objection he's got to it. Don't like advertising. If they put him on a few more adverts, he'd probably feel like they were selling it to him.
Yeah, that's true, you know. It's true, man. And the doctor looks well happy as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They all look quite comfortable there.
Yeah. And the
they
doctor
don't look like they're actors or anything.
She's got an iron-on patch of magic mushrooms.
Is it?
On her jacket here. Yeah. On that
is that
side.
Three
magic mushrooms. Yeah.
Or is that 3 6s, 3 9s?
Don't know. 3 magic mushrooms there, and then some sort of flower on this side.
Yeah. It looks pretty well done. That picture looks well done.
Yeah.
So King Chico says that the ginger woman, a crisis actor. She might be a crisis actor. And Yamor says, agreed. And funny you lot should say that, right?
Yeah. Because Ethan and Luca are both actors. Self-confessed on the show, apparently they say, yeah, we're actors, but we're concerned about the jab.
Bruv, you can't make this up, man.
No.
Like, you can't make it's just hilarious, man. Like they're telling you, yeah. No, just 2 of us are actors. Like we know how to stand there and pose like that. You know what I mean? And we're willing to come on, and it's just like, come on, man. And so I guess the idea of this is to steer any people that may have felt like any of those 8, right? All the pregnant women, get in line, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? All the I might become infertile dudes. It's like, don't worry about that shit. You won't own anything. You won't even own no sperm, and you'll be happy. You're gonna have to rent that sperm, bro. Don't worry about that shit.
You rent a baby.
Yeah, rent a baby, boy.
Tom Arnott said, locked in a house and bombarded with pro-jab science. Sounds like lockdown.
Sure bloody. Sure bloody, boy. So it's like they tried to dabble with everyone anyone thinking like this. And I wonder what the group meeting must have been like when it was time to set this up and prepare it. And if there's anyone there thinking like,
just give me a crazy view on vaccines.
I don't know. Let's check the comments. Yeah, let's check the comments on your.
You're depopulating the world guy.
Yeah. You're depopulating the world guy.
Wonder.
Oh, all right. So what should I think? Depopulate the world. Right. So Melinda, is it Melinda Gates or Bill Gates? One of the two. You know what I mean? Like, they start going in. All right. Follows right, said Fred. Follows. Just goes in, boy. Yeah, what's his name? Eric Clapton. All of them.
Van Morrison.
David Icke. Just follow. Is Van Morrison? He's woke, yeah. Is it? That's hilarious.
Did you not hear during lockdown? He released an album. I think he'd done a song with Eric Clapton on the album.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like the Boomer Fight Back.
What do you reckon that is? Do you think that's for real, or are they just like, what's it called? You know, what do they call it? Controlled up.
Let me find. No, because he done Van Morrison. What's the one called? He put a whole album out. That's the one. They Own the Media. Like what was he reading at the time?
Yeah,
It's like they own the banks, they own the media.
Yeah.
One of his songs. You know, the other one's like, "Why are you on Facebook?" That was one of his songs. Why are you on Facebook? Yeah, but like a blues song.
Like I can't work out. Even there's that rapper now, in it. There's the guy, I've forgotten what his name is. Tom something, I think.
Tom McDonald.
Yeah, I think it is Tom McDonald, and it's like, you know what I mean? They're being allowed to say a whole bunch of stuff, and still do pretty well. He's obviously getting a lot of views and whatnot. He's not really getting shut down, and so then does it feel like they want people to know all of this stuff now, or is it just like, they are slipping through the cracks somehow?
Yeah, I think I don't know with it, right? He's independent.
Is he?
Yeah, he only releases stuff. He doesn't put stuff out digitally. So his first album was this year when he released an album with another MC, and it was the first time he'd ever done a digital release. But everything else is all CDs and physical copies. So the only time he puts videos out is he'll put like 1 or 2 out for each album that he does. But he doesn't put the rest of the songs on YouTube. So you can't find any of the other stuff on YouTube, only the videos.
Oh, wow.
And it's his wife who makes the videos. So it's sort of quite a small, they run the label together, and it's just them two basically. But he's got some sort of awkward views, but he's quite, you know, when you get down to the brass tacks, he's not like got crazy views. You know, he's sort of still quite in with the current stuff. It's just he's sort of like against like woke culture, but is still like, you know, I'm friends with all sorts of people.
Yeah, okay. So
all my friends are like me. They're all against the same stuff. You know, we're all similar anti-woke people.
Yeah, but then yeah. I guess I haven't listened to him enough, but I'm always a bit wary when I'm like, right, but he's okay. He seems to be doing all right, but he's saying a lot of like, there's people we know now that we thought would have been saying a whole bunch of shit to do with all the lockdowns and this, that, and the third from our world. You know what I mean? That let alone, you know what I mean, the hip hop world, but like the UK hip hop scene that haven't really said much. Like K-Coke, it was quite surprising. He said, you know what I mean, man, he kind of went in, but then flipped it with the whole tinfoil hat stuff and all that. So it made it seem like, okay, is he mocking it, or you can't tell, is it like for real or not? But yeah, man, very interesting stuff, man. To see that they're going that far, the Beeb now, trying to like, okay, let's, how can we hit them? Reality TV, that's it. With the reality TV show, oh man, and you know how people love the reality TV show, and you know it's going to be on Gogglebox, because they got that Gogglebox is a tool and a half, boy. That's work right
That's
there.
A very successful.
It's a very good tool, because it's so like, you know, people forget that these people are now in front of the camera for a certain amount of time. They get used to this, and then they also have to play up for it. You know, they have to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're losing their job. You know, people in the comment section talking about, Common Sense has already mentioned about getting paid. That's it, people getting paid.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line with a lot of this, as well as there's going to be, you know what I mean, some form of propaganda, some ideas or whatever they want to kind of get people drifting towards. They want to steer. It's like the waters, you know what I mean? You're on some canal or whatever, and they somehow can steer the waters so that your boat's heading a certain way without even realizing. No, I think that I tick that box as well. Yeah, I think oh, she thinks, actually, maybe, no, I don't tick that box. I tick that box because, yeah, what she said. You know, you get an influence without even realising. Just sitting there.
Influencers.
You know, the people just in front of the TV. Sit in that awkward position.
Yeah.
Like, only in front of the TV you can sit like that.
Yeah. I'm pregnant, but I'm not black, but I'm a Muslim.
yeah. So wait, so I kind of, with her and him, I'm like, oh yeah, kind of follow what they're saying.
I wonder how many people watched it and was like, yeah, I agree with all of their opinions. I wonder how many people were swayed the other way by it. You're always going to get some outliers who watch these things and think, yeah, do you know what? They might actually have some points.
Yeah, that's the Gogglebox shit, I reckon, is going to happen. It's going to be like people, oh, no, yeah, but they got, you know.
So that's the spread out. Gogglebox would be the spreading out where they go from like the 7 actors to like the 14 actors.
Yeah.
And then it sort of starts doubling and spreading out into society. Yeah.
The main one, that BBC one's like the big piece of butter. You know, when you can't be bothered you don't want to get more crumbs in the butter, so you just get a big piece. And then that first one is what you spread on the first bit of toast. And then you scrape up the rest. And Gogglebox is going to be the rest. Just spread it out.
Yeah.
So,
so that's where you're going to get some people who are like, well, I sort of agree with what they're saying, or, you know, some of them, they're like, oh, they're complete lunatics. And
it's like,
start spreading the opinions out into the public with Gogglebox, Yeah,
it's just like, you know what I mean? It massages it in.
Yeah.
It's like it massages it in.
The BBC programme is like what some people think, and Gogglebox is what you're going to think.
Yeah. What you should think,
Yeah,
it's interesting, man. What somebody said something funny.
I think you're more there saying, did they actually have anyone with a chronic health condition or disability on it? Some of us didn't want to aggravate our already difficult to manage health conditions. Yeah, no, they didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
They did, no.
Exactly, man. And they're not going to do that. There's so many like different things that they won't touch on because that will get to a much meatier problem that they don't want you to think about. And the best way to not make you think about it is give you 8 other problems.
And King Chico says that to Master Detective, they would have needed to be jabbed to be on the show.
Yeah.
To be in a house together.
It's like, IBMC says you could also show how easy it is to convince people to get injected with random shit. More interesting show. More interesting show. Like, for real, man. Getting jabbed with random shit like burger. Like, bro, you eat this burger, you eat McD's. All right. Let me just, blend that shit up, juice it, put it in a syringe and plunge that into your ass. How about that? Would you do that? Why not, man? You know what? At least you know what it is, though. Do you know what this shit is? You know what it is? Yeah, I mean, it's nuts, man.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Like you're ingesting through your friggin' veins.
Yeah, that's a good idea for a show.
Gogglebox is true fuckery. Watch people on your TV while they watch other people on TV. Get a fucking life. Yeah, boy. It's just weird, isn't it? It's weird. Even all the reality TV stuff is the same way. You know, like all these like Love Islands. And it's sort of giving people an aesthetic to work towards. It's like, oh, I want to look like that. Oh, I need to do that to my lips. I need to do that to my bum. I need to, oh, I'm going to train. I need to, you know, it's a lot of that stuff. And then you see like how much fashion is also promoted in between. And it's like, wow, man, it's like a lifestyle. It's there steering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Steering all these youngins like, come out of college. This is what you should, aspire to be so you can be like him. He's the.
But they're, in a way, TV's playing like catch up with the internet, though, aren't they? Because now you've got so many influencers on the internet that are like more powerful than TV shows. Just one person who's got a channel where they unbox clothes they've brought for that month. There'll be a girl who just gets out clothes and goes, oh, I'm looking forward to wearing that. Oh, I've got these new shoes. Oh, they're going to look good with this.
To be honest, I'd say you get anomalies, online that burst onto TV, like where it's like, TV, you could tell that they wanted them. But I think TV's still got the prestige. It's like if you've got an online
100%.
show, if you go, I've got showed us online. People are like, oh, real wicked. I got showed us on TV. They're like,
100%.
oh, raw.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, it ends up being that, you know, off of the back of TV, now on the internet, you got even bigger, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. They're trying to tap into those streams on the internet, and people get paid. You get paid quite well on the internet, but you get paid really well for TV.
Yeah. It's a different ball game, and then obviously movies is a next level, isn't it? Oh man, yeah. IBMCs. I saw that episode, bruv. I was like, yo, my one ain't watching that. She ain't watching that, man. That's it. Lock off.
Bing the rabbit.
Yeah, where they had to quack up the other little kids and that, and it's like,
what?
Yeah, it's like it's so much propaganda, bruv. Propaganda. You have a propaganda, right? You realise it's propaganda, mate. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you got you know, all you parents out there, man, make sure you have a look at what your kids are reading, watching, listening to, just to make sure. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of shit they sneak in there you don't realize. You know what I mean? Next minute your kid's trying to tell you how they want to augment themselves in some form. You know what I mean? 2-year-old talking about, I want to get Botox. Yeah, Botox. What the hell are you talking about, man? 2 years old, man.
I want horses' back legs.
First. You better learn how to change your own nappy first before you talk about do Botox, boy. I want horses' legs, you know. Isn't it? Yeah, imagine that, man. They say that was it Avatar? You know, the Last Stylebender, like the cartoon, like the that in that they had like a lot of animals that were like they crossed them,
trans species,
man. Is that right? What are you trying to do, man?
Right.
I mean, if you could have any trans species, like what 2 animals do you think you'd cross?
What would I make? That's one. It's an abomination, so I wouldn't do it. But if I could, maybe like something really slow and something really fast, or something that like moves like a hummingbird and a tortoise, or like something, just to see what happens.
A sloth and a cheetah.
Yeah. Cheetah sloth. Humming tortoise.
Snail and a swallow. a snallow.
Yeah.
Or a swale.
Yeah, swale. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
What would you cross together?
I think it would be just to see how it would work in the water. I would do a rhino and a killer whale. And then I want to test the waters with great white shark. Yeah.
What,
I mean,
see
get
whether
that yin and yang. So I can get a live action yin and yang. You know, I mean, a bit of blood splattered here and there. It's all good though. Yeah, just, you know, I think, rhino in the water would probably do pretty well. You know what I mean? Hit us up, mother lovers. What you got to figure out there?
What's your
crossbreed dream?
You have the power to.
Crossbreed dreams. Hey, man, this is the crossbreed dreams episode, man. Let us know. I mean, it's not just about dogs. Look, we've done it for years with dogs, yeah? People ain't said shit about that. Like, people crying, all this type of shit over their dogs. No one don't talk about how they became who they are.
That was when they hit their high point, was the hybrid show, when they started talking about what animals you cross. That's what people will say in the future. You should listen to everything, but don't just listen to it from that show onwards.
Yeah, man. But yeah, let us know.
No, seriously, let us know.
Right about now, we got a shout out though, the cmossboss.co.uk, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You know how it is. When it comes to these sea vegetables, they do not play around. And when I'm talking about not playing around, the best Irish quality sea veg straight from the unspoiled coast of Coast Donegal, also known as the Wild Atlantic Way. You can get yourself some wakame, some Irish moss. And I'm telling you, the quality of the sea vegetables are 100%. When I'm talking about levels of nutrients, we're talking about a tiny amount of carbohydrates, but you're getting some protein, several minerals, multiple vitamins, and obviously water content when concerning the gel form. But listen, you got your B vitamins, got vitamin A, K, C, all good for your health. Calcium, magnesium, potassium, phosphorus, zinc, selenium, and sulfur. Bruv, get on down to the cmossboss.co.uk. Get yourself, what else have they got? There's some amazing products, man. You get some sea spaghetti. Sea spaghetti. Hey, that's some next level. Get yourself some dose. You can get yourself some spirulina. All of these products are organic. Let me say that again. All these products are organic, wild crafted. So this means they're not tampered with. The seeds are pure. You know what I mean? Bladderwrack. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you can get. It's really good for things like thyroids, good for your skin, for your bones, for your hair. You know what I mean? If you feel like you might be going bald a bit. You know what I mean? And there's some new products that are in. Sea salt and kelp seasoning, as well as, of course, the Irish seasoning, which is a good, really good mixture of different spices that you can add to your soups, your salads, whatever you need. You know what I mean? When you get to the shopping cart, make sure you type in about 20. That's about 20 in block capitals and the number 20. Not spelling out 20. And you'll get yourself 20% off any of the products there from the cmossboss.co.uk.
Good
Shout out to the CMOS Boss.
Yeah, man.
And big up all you mother lovers that are getting busy, making your gels, you know what I mean? The CMOS is just like showing off. The other day, I mixed up some of the wakame with sea spaghetti. It's a good mix, man. It's a good mix. You know what I mean? Spice that up. Do what you want with that. Bam. Throw in a little egg or whatever. Yeah, and you're getting all your nutrients that you need, man. Yep, got to be done. So we did Mice Investigates this week. Let's
oh yeah,
clap into that. I didn't send you it, did I?
No.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Should I still send you it or you? Doesn't matter.
No, I can just flash this up quickly and hit a bomb sound. Mice Diggy investigates.
You know what I mean? And this week's investigation, what would you like to know the truth about before you pass on? Pass on. Pass on. I felt like if I put an echo with it, it might be more profound because it is quite a profound question.
That is, yeah.
That's you, man. Shout out to D.
Oh, is this from the list?
Yeah, it's from the list. D came up with a list.
Oh, right.
Like,
I thought that is a good one. Yeah.
What would you like to know the truth about before you pass on? Hit us up in the comment censors section and let us know, mother lovers, because that's a very interesting one.
Oh, I'm going to put it in the questions in the things chat.
So Philip Pierre Hébert Photography says, if I was a nice and respectable person, that's what he'd like to know. It's a good one.
Right.
Slim Guru says, to be honest, nothing. I'll find out all truths once I pass. Death is the great awakening. Woo! Woo!
That's a good one.
Ain't that the truth? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a very good one. Strange Soul Music says, if my beats are really good or do I just have supportive mates? He's a joker, man. For those who don't know, that's the guy who produced Wait There. He did That There. That's funny. He also did Skull Island. So he's a good producer, man. I don't even know why he put that up there. Shout to Paintings says, good question, because ultimately all the truths will be revealed after we transcend this plane of existence. Yes, similar words. That being said, listening to Graham Hancock and Randall Carson recently, The fact where we are a species suffering from amnesia. I really want to know who and how they built the pyramids and what exactly for, because it ain't just a pile of rocks. That's for sure. Which is true, man. Shout to my brother Jay from Pyro Minds, and he sent me some info regarding the pyramids latitude. I think it's the same, like the number of latitude equals to the same amount as the speed of light or something like that, like in however many milliseconds it is. Who knows, man? Who knows?
316,000 miles per second or something. No. I just plucked that out of my arse. I don't know if that's even true.
So paintings also added. Let me add. The Tuskegee event and the disappearance of Flight MH370 to that list of burning questions. Also, what's up with Sasquatch, Skinwalker, Dogman, etc. And lastly, what happens to all my socks when they disappeared during the Lord?
It's a man with a lot of questions.
Boy, you gotta ask, innit? You gotta ask. Shout out to Oshi, another listener, silent listener. He comes through, man. Big up to Osh, man. He's voyaging out there across the seas on some maritime jugglings. He says manifestation. That's what he'd like to know the truth about before he passes on. Manifestation. And that's a beautiful one because it is like, that's what I'd want to know. How did we get here? Like, what was the cause and how do we become? Do you know what I mean? How did everything become? That's what I'd want to know. If ever I could know that, but I don't know how. All I have left is to believe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's all we have.
With the big questions. We
should be content with that, I think. Maybe part of life is trying to be content with not knowing everything. Because ultimately we'll never know everything. Same thing as we're never going to live forever. You know what I mean? In this body. And so when, like I was talking about earlier in terms of people understanding like there's a whole bunch of shit that doesn't really matter, is because, they have you in fear of something that ultimately is going to happen. There's nothing you can do to stop it. When really, so that keeps you focusing on it, but in a warped way, because it's something that's not even real either. It's put in your mind to be real. Do you know what I mean? But really, once you understand that, this is how I can create longevity for myself, regardless of what happens, and get to some kind of understanding of what does happen at the end, and be content with that. Do you know what I mean? You like, maybe life is about that, where it's like ultimately being content with like, I have to enjoy the now rather than thinking about the past or the future too much. Like, obviously you got to, plan things. That's the life we live, regardless of whether we're in this, invisible prison or not. That's how you got to live. But then it's like, okay, and then, you understand like the path leads to this happening, and being content with that, understanding that, this happens for everybody. This isn't just, I'm not cursed and so be ready for it. But at the same time, you got to enjoy yourself, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Life is too short. Yeah. It's too short, like they say.
Way too short. About 70 years too short.
And then, on that note, Lee VP Barry says, who killed Dirty Den? That's what he'd like to know the truth about before he passes on.
I thought, was it not on the telly then who killed? I'm going to look that up. So I might be able to help him out, and then he can focus on another question.
Oh my God, his screen says, was that shot in year 6? Oh, it was Chrissy.
Dirty Den was murdered by his estranged wife, Chrissy.
Oh, okay. So
there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
He can move on.
Yeah. We'll let him know it was Chrissy. OMG, it's Green says, was that shot in year 6 really over the bar? It was really over the bar. That one shot. You're like, nah, man, I swear that went in. There's no net in it, so you don't know whether People are like, nah, man, that was over. That was about, nah, bro. That's hilarious.
It's out there somewhere. The answer is in the Akashic record. You can find it. It'll be, you know what I mean? You'll be able to access it at some point.
You know? Shout out to Robbie Love 86. He says the ancient wonders of the world would be cool to know. Is any religion right or wrong? And what is the deal with aliens? Yeah, for real. The religion thing, that's another thing where it's like, how, who, what, you know what I mean? Because they're obviously, yeah, we know we've been going into certain rabbit holes with that and trying to understand where it's come from. And I think I've got a good idea, but I don't know if, you know, how can I know? Do you know what I mean? Like, no matter how many books or who you listen to, you still don't know. It's just like...
And you're always going to piss someone off as well.
Yeah. Well, you know,
whatever one you
kind of got to get used to that. You know,
yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, you can't. What I mean is, if you say one of them's the real one, you're gonna piss a load of other people off. And if you say, even if you just say that one isn't the real one, but the others might be, so you just got to accept all of them somehow. You've got to come to that place in your head where you're like, no, they're all right in their own way.
Yeah. It is that, man. It is that. Like, literally, in their own way, they're all right for who they're for.
Yeah.
You know
There should be as many religions as there are people. That's the thing. It's like, you know, because
man.
Do you know what I mean? Because everyone's got their own interpretation of it within the religion.
Yeah.
And how they, you know, it's a personal relationship. It's not,
yeah.
You know, when you're prescribing people's relationship to God, then there's a problem, you know. Because you're like, no, you're doing it wrong way. Like, yeah, but I don't feel anything if I do it that way. This way I do. You know, so even within each of those, and then they have all these schisms where they break off, and then there's a split between the two in the religion, and then they create a new thing. So does that mean when Protestantism was created, everyone before them went to hell and just didn't know?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
well,
Everyone before Protestants, even though they all worshipped God and Jesus and all the rest of it, it all just went to hell because it wasn't Protestant.
Yeah, because they were just they were more against the Roman Catholic, innit?
Yeah.
Like
so does that mean all Roman Catholics went to, you know, according to Protestants, all Roman Catholics went to hell?
Well, that's what I wonder with all religions as well. So is that what they believe, that everyone else is going to go to hell then? And then how do you live with that?
Yeah.
You know, so do you then go and preach the word, or how do you live with knowing that I'm going to heaven, but all these people I'm walking past, they're all going to hell?
That's why they try so hard to convert people, because they feel sorry for them.
What about the people who don't, though?
Who don't bother doing it?
Yeah.
They're just vicious, nasty people. Wish everyone goes to hell. No, for my one, I would say if you don't go to hell, you just get reincarnated and come back, and that's, you know, so
go through it.
It's
again.
Like a personal hell in a way.
Some people say this is hell.
Got to do it all again.
You know, in the ark, like what we were talking about with
worship
BBG.
the wrong thing. You got to come back.
Yeah. You worship the wrong thing. Wow, imagine that. I used to think, that people come back as animals, and the animal you'd come back as was probably one that you were either bad to, like in some form of way,
good one, I like that,
or that you kind of had the temperament of the animal.
Yeah.
And then I used to think that, like, so then some people, they might come back, you know, from the animal spirit and then become human again. And then that's why you can see, like, certain people look like frogs, some people look like horse, or so, you know, rabbit, monkeys, like, But I doubt that's true. Anyway. That's young mice imagination there, boy. Running wild.
But imagine if someone had just listened to you back then and just been like, no, what you're saying is profound. It's like, write this down. I'm going to start telling people. And you're like, so if you was bad to elephants, come back as an elephant, and then you look like an elephant when you come back again.
You eat a lot and talk with your feet. Yeah. Your big feet. Yeah, it's funny, man. The ideas that you get when you're young, boy. Mine is running wild. But yeah, man, definitely the wonders of the world is a good question. you know, like really trying to find out how the hell the pyramids were built. You know, what is this? You know, was there a time when we were using electricity before, you know, this current time?
What was in the Library of Alexandria?
Yeah,
what was actually, what books were, what books hadn't been returned?
What was
wanted
the
to see
beginning?
a list of all the ones that hadn't been returned for, you know, because that meant they were a good book. Somebody's trying to keep it, read it. Yeah.
All the secret teachings.
If you check the records, the Library of Alexandria, and it's got books not returned, and the main account is the Vatican. They just they haven't returned loads of books.
Yeah.
Then it just mysteriously burns down.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I wonder if there's any gematria on that actually. The date on the Library of Alexandria burning. There's quite some heavy stuff on the Parliament, the House of Parliament stuff. Yeah,
what, on the?
Because it's 1666.
The Fire of London.
Yeah, the Great Fire of London. So it's pretty.
Yeah, that's weird.
Intense.
Yeah.
Like whoa.
Yeah, it's a weird year, ain't it?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Master Detective UK, I would like to know the truth about who's running this earth, so when I cross over, I can give the essence a spiritual slap.
Jeez, imagine, boy.
King Chico, my missus wants to know if there is life after death.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
It is, man. I think there is, but it's a different type of life. It's not. I don't think it's the same as what the life that we live now. It's more, you know, of essence.
Yeah.
Like, and I think like someone
like
asked,
like ghosts.
Yeah, like ghosts or spirits, or you know, whether I have no idea, but I think like the thing that passes on that keeps you alive, other than obviously your system, but the soul part, I think does move on to some other form that, you know, just obviously can't communicate, or can communicate, but in ways that we don't understand, maybe, you know. So yeah, don't get their communication across to us. But yeah, I think there's more to us, man. There's more to what goes on in this experience of ours, I think.
Yeah. King Crank 5, what's up with women? It's good. I'm sure men and women both have a similar question.
Yeah, for real. What's up with men?
King Chico 1, do Harry and William know exactly what happened to their mum? Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. See what I'm saying? The common senses, boy. Jeez,
Yeah.
Do they really know? Woo, that's a good one, isn't it? Like what? Like I've always wondered as well. Like, what is their jugglings like? What do they get up to when they're not in front of the cameras and all that? Like, what's when the Queen's going for a shit? You know what I mean? Just things where you're like, right, what's the regular jugglings there? Are they just cotching?
Does she strain?
Shoes off? You know what I mean? Well, what are they? Is it all like mad formal everywhere they're going? Is it all straight and just like, I'm wearing formal? Like, do you know what I mean?
Does she have someone strain for her, the Queen? Would you like me to strain for you, madam?
Wow.
Ma'am.
What kind of toilet roll she's using?
Yeah. Is it more expensive than
Marks and Spencer's?
normal?
Or would it be?
I don't know. Waitrose. I don't know. Probably. Do you know what? It'd be a petrol station toilet roll. That's the dearest toilet roll you can get.
That's Baller's toilet roll, boy. What do you mean? This is from a petrol station. Oh shit! Hey, they got petrol. Hey, go easy on the bug roll, bruv. It's petrol station bug roll. Yeah, see, King Chico knows what I'm talking about. I think we've been here before in a different setting. I think so as well, man. Because there's certain things that just pop up that just seem to be like of memory, even though you don't remember actually going through them, the situations. Master Detective says the pyramids are portals. I've heard this, and there are a lot of stories about the fact that, you know, the ancient Egyptians mummified their royalty, and you know, the pyramids were there to help them sort of transcend to other realms. So yeah, there could be something to do to that, but man, who knows? And what was the story you told me about someone discovering like a black mirror type thing where you know, the story is that they learned how to conjure up
John Dee.
the jinn or something like that, or they could communicate, they could send messages or something like that.
That's apparently what he was doing. Yeah, he had a scrying mirror, which is like a black obsidian shine, you know, like polished obsidian mirror from South America or somewhere, and then they would use it to communicate with, you know, angels. Let's call them angels. And then they had like a language that they could, the language that he developed from these communications was called Enochian. So he said it was the language that the angels spoke.
Enoch.
Wow. That Enoch translated from the angels. And so they would be able to encode a message into one of the demons. So they conjure up a demon. Sorry, I meant angel. Call them angels. They conjure up a demon, and then they give the demon the message. The angel the message.
Yeah.
And then someone over the other side of the world, or wherever, Prague, I think there was communicating between, because he was like some sort of spy or something, John Dee. So they would then, someone in Prague would have the same spell or incantation to conjure up this angel, and then they would give them the message. So it was like a way of communicating over long distances without having any form of message, you know. So it's encoded into angels, and they pass the message on.
And then there was any investigation? Was there any investigation into whether they'd secretly met up like time ago before and said these?
Well, these were just things that he was rumored to have been doing. So that's one of the, you know, the rumors about what they were doing with this conjuring of angels. Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, when you look at like the way the internet works now, they use demons to handle messages from one end to the other. So so when you type something, and when you know, like if you do an email to somebody and it doesn't have you've got the wrong email address, you get a message back from a demon. So it says demon mailer. And it says message not delivered. Yeah, so that's the old way of spelling it, Daemon. And so with the internet, it's a similar thing, is that you're encoding something into a demon. The demon then carries that message to another demon and then delivers it on the other side. So they still use that language in the internet now.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Demon. Yeah, jeez.
Oh, Gleam's back in the chat. Gleam's back. 1666 year Newton discovered gravity.
Shout out to Gleamy Rankin. What's going on, bro?
That was when all them apples fell on his head.
Oh, that was 1666 as well?
Apparently, yeah.
Wow, what a year for that to happen. Let's have a look at what happened in 1666.
The second Jewish Messiah.
What?
1666, yeah. What's his name? Sabbatai.
Wow.
Sabbatai Zebi, yeah, was the second, or the Messiah. Yeah, they call him a messianic imposter on the internet, but yeah, that was his year.
1666. France declares war on England and Munster in January January 26th. February the 16th, Netherlands and Brandenburg signed treaty. April 18th, Peace of Cleef, Netherlands and Bishop von Gellen of Munster. Ah. Interesting. Battle of Dunkirk. June the 4th, English versus Dutch fleet. It's on. June 11th, Viadugs Sea Battle. Reuter Monk versus Prince Ruprecht.
Prince against Prince who? Sorry, what was that?
Against Prince Ruprecht. So Ruprecht.
Oh yeah, there it pops up there. Bavaria. Oh, it's a different one.
August the 4th, hurricane hits Guadeloupe, Martinique, and St. Christopher. Thousands die. English feats. Wow, man. So, yeah, then August 4th, you got a sea battle between Netherlands and England. And then August 5th, English fleets beats Dutch under Michiel de Ruyter. So war going on right there. And you got the
it's
Great
Prince Rupert.
Fire.
Yeah, I know Prince Rupert. Yeah.
Prince Rupert.
Yeah, that's what it's Ruprecht. Ruprecht in German.
Ruprecht.
Yeah, but yeah, Prince Rupert married King James's daughter Elizabeth. So King James married into Prince Rupert married his daughter. Yeah, and then Prince Rupert fought in the Civil War.
Oh, he fought in the Civil War.
In the English Civil War. Yeah.
He was involved.
He's one of my favourite.
Watch him now. Is that him there with the
That's Prince
hair?
Rupert. Yeah.
Wow.
He's one of my favourite. One of my favourite cavaliers from the Civil War.
For real.
Yeah, he's
Favourite
good.
cavalier.
He's got some good stories, Prince Rupert. Yeah. I think he might have fought at Chiswick. I think that's where he's the Battle of Turnham Green. I think he might have been involved in that.
Wow. So you got August 9th, 1666. Rear Admiral Robert Holmes leads a raid on the Dutch island of Terschelling, destroying 150 merchant ships in the Vile estuary and pillaging the town of West Terschelling, an act later known as Holmes' Bonfire. And not long after that, on the 2nd of the 9th, or 9/2, as some people might write it, the Great Fire of London begins at 2 a.m., possibly 2:01. In Pudding Lane, 80% of London is destroyed, my beloved. 80% of this bitch was destroyed.
Where else would you start a fire but Pudding Lane? Can you name a better road in London where you'd start a fire?
Yeah, because how did the fire start? I don't know, but the proof is in there.
This is a callback to...
Yeah, proof is in that pudding, boy.
Yeah.
Jeez, these people, man. That is intense. September 5th, Great Fire of London ends. Oh, so it went on for 3 days, I guess. From the 2nd to the 5th, or you could say 4 days, including...
So, death, birth, and no, what is it? Birth, death, and rebirth. Basically 3 days of fire. 3 days of fire.
Wow,
and
the
they
Trinity.
Rebirthed London after that.
Wow, the Trinity, and they say leaving 13,200 houses and 8 dead. So that's 1 through 2.
8 people died in the fire of London.
Houses destroyed and 8 dead. Wow.
Shit.
Yeah. But then after that, that's when they brought in the whole Chikevi Act, which is like, kind of representing turning us into dead. And
oh, right.
yeah,
okay.
because they're saying there were loads of people that are missing that they can't. And so if you were missing that's when they brought this whole Admiralty thing in. So if you were missing for more than 7 years, then whatever your belongings were could be they're put in
Right.
a trust, and then whoever the trust, the guarantor ends up taking everything. I think it is. I probably got the words mixed up, so yeah.
Yeah, I see. I know what you mean.
And then that's how that whole thing came in with the birth certificate and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we got to get a specialist in on all that stuff, man, because I always get a bit mixed up with how the thing works. But it is pretty amazing, man. Like the level of, when it comes to deception, using the language, man. And obviously being an MC like that, it just, I've drawn in even more. Because I'm like, right, so hold on, this word, I thought this word meant this, but it actually don't.
Yeah.
And then you find out, like, you can look at a dictionary now and see a whole bunch of meanings, but then you can look at an older dictionary and see there are meanings that are missing from that newer dictionary that are in there. You're like, what? Why would they do that? But for obvious reasons, because, we don't need you to be knowing everything. Like, go and talk your slang. Like, yeah, throw more slang out there. Hey, make music with the slang and keep, you know what I mean? Just so people really don't understand what's being said right in front of their eyes as well. You know what I mean? Or what they're reading. Like, when you're looking at a contract, you just, I don't know what
Yeah.
just, okay, I'll just sign it. That's how they catch us, man.
Yeah.
So September 6th, after St. Paul's Cathedral and much of the city had been burned down over 4 days, the Great Fire of London is finally extinguished. So yeah, it kept it going. September 16th, Messiah. How do you say it?
Sabotage Zebi.
Sabotage Zebi. Is that how you say that? Becomes Islamite. So that was that. He's the second Messiah.
Yeah, but the way they put a stop to it is they said to you, we're going to kill you or you have to convert to Islam. So they made him convert to Islam.
Wow. So, that's pretty mad. And that was what? That's 916. 169. Well, yeah. Jesus. You got 2 sixes
Not Jesus.
in there.
Sabotage Zebi.
Yeah, sorry. No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like, fuck, if that's any better. But yeah, that's an interesting date for that to happen, as well as because
sure
it's like 916, and then it's 1666.
Yeah.
So there's a whole load of ones and sixes,
Nines and sixes.
Yeah. And then the fact that they made him switch to Islam, but then also Netflix came out with that series. Was it Netflix or Amazon came out with that series called Messiah? There was a series that came out, and then it was kind of like this thing where they showed this guy coming back, and people were like wondering whether he was the real Messiah or not, and then people believed he was because they saw him doing
I remember something about
tricks
this,
or whatever. And then I think like the premise was that he was bringing the religions together, one world religion type thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Because he's like, you've all got it wrong type thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's interesting that was called Messiah, and then you see something like that where that's how they state that time in history.
Sabotage Zebi managed to get about a third of the Jews in Europe to follow him. So it was a big deal at the time. Yeah. A lot of people sold up their possessions and moved to Turkey or wherever it was where he was.
Oh, he had some true believers.
Yeah.
Like ultra. Yeah, man, you got to be careful. The way, like, I think it's obviously hard to understand if you don't actually look at the world in that way. But the how easy it is to get inside your mind and make you believe certain things. All people have to do is sort of tap into your insecurities, the things that, or tap into things that you're easily influenced by. And then bam, they just start weaving their way in. And so there are people that are obviously searching for something. We always talk about like the woke guy and, this, that, and the third. So people are always searching for something more, like to make them feel whole in some form of way. And there are predators out there, man, they'll snap, like swipe you up.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, if they see that.
Yeah.
So it's really tricky for people, man. Like, I get it. But man, following these cults and certain people are like, bruv, man, don't do it, man. Like the leader is within. You know what I mean? Once you find it in you, then you can help other people. But don't be like following no other man like that. Like, no one, man. On that note, you got to make sure you stay balanced, though, mother lovers. And to do that, you got to, as well as the CMOS and all that, you got to hit up Cannasaires UK. That's cannasairesuk.com. Shout out to Sam Gibbons. We got everything sorted with the code, by the way. So I know a certain amount of people were saying it wasn't working, but it should be all fixed up now. So I had a word with him. And big up the crew out there, Cannasaires UK. Doing it proper with the CBD products, man. I'm talking about you can get yourself sativa or you can get an indica. Indica helps you rest a bit more, you know what I mean? And sativa kind of is a more uplifting thing. So you can have that during the day. You can get these CBD products in different forms, from chocolates to sprays, which you spray under the tongue. You can get balms as well. Mixed with coconut oil. It's a nice paste, very good for if you got any rashes, if you got joint aches, if you've got muscle aches, really help. As well as the sprays, you can get full spectrum as opposed to just indica dominant or sativa dominant. And full spectrum, I'd say, is the one, man, for a lot of people, because you really get the full effects. We spoke about CBD in very, you know what I mean, open discussion with Sam Gibbons. So you should check out the show if you want to understand a bit more about how it works. It's very interesting. Like, I found some information about how people used to eat it as well, because I was really interested in that. And I think, like, yeah, it makes a lot more sense as well once you start digging into like the history of the plant as opposed to what we understand it as now. Do you know what I mean? And like I say, man, it's that hijack thing as well. I always feel like, yeah, no wonder they got us blazing it when really we should be eating it, type thing. You know what I mean? And it's not not in the way people think either. Like, not necessarily cooking. Cooking it is when you activate the THC. And so that's how you start getting high. But if you eat it raw, and obviously you're not going to eat it raw like this, but it's like sprinkle it on. Yeah, that's when you'll get more of the medicinal benefits from the plant as opposed to the psychoactive benefits and whatnot. Or, you know,
Yeah.
for some, not so much a benefit, but more for me, mother. Yeah, and you can also get chocolate stirrers as well, man. I'm going to get an order in of them, mother lovers. I'm telling you that right damn now. Very much really enjoy using their products. So hit them up, cannasairesuk.com. And when you get to the checkout, just make sure you hit up the mother-loving acronym for shit you might not never know nothing about. That's right. If you type in SYMNNKNA, you'll get yourself 20% off. That's SYMNNKNA. Rewind it, slow it down to 0.75 if you need to, mother lovers. But you get yourself 20% off any of the products on cannasairesuk.com. So make sure you hit them up.
Yep.
And love to them, of course.
And also you can sign up to, not sign up, but, you know, go to your podcast places and get all the previous shows as podcasts. Some of them worth, especially the ones with guests, worth going back over again and just, you know,
taking notes,
put it on while you're working or something.
Yeah, even that, man. But
listen back.
Definitely.
Or put like the 3 mem ones on together or something and just get all of mem stuff, you know, in one sitting. 6 hours of mem.
Yeah, I think, and also Sam as well. There's a couple episodes
two of Sam.
Now. So you can get quite a lot of information on the whole history to do with CBD products, especially, you know what I mean, the plant that a lot of us love out here, you know.
And that will be on iTunes, Anchor FM, Castbox. What's the other one? I don't know. Just have a look on podcast players and just search for it. And then what's your
What's my
latest? Where's your latest links? Really, everything through Instagram.
Yeah, hit me up on Insta or micedigi.com. On Insta, I'm micedigi, same as Twitter. Shout out to all the Twitch crew. I'm gonna try and do some Twitch juggling soon.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
good.
So yeah. Gotta get on there and mess around.
Good idea.
And then if you're out and about, if you're going to Boomtown, you can catch me and Smokey Joe and the kid there. We're going to be there on the Saturday, I believe. And the night before that will be with Pete Tong. And that's going to be the August the 11th and 12th, I think.
How long are you at Boomtown? You're just there for the evening?
Nah, probably if I'm there Saturday, I might stay for Sunday as well, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, look out for that, mother lovers. Other than that, you know what I mean? We appreciate all you mother lovers locking in, man, because, you know, it's always good to catch up with you bitches and bitchettes. No discrimination, by the way, when I say that. I'm not trying to undermine anybody by calling them a bitch or a bitchette. Because, you know, life is what it is. Shout to King Chico, the Master Detective. I'm going to hit you up, bruv. Shout to your Moore, Black Einstein. Always appreciate you lot locking in, man. IBMCs. Yes, man. Shout to the nice one, JM. Hey, yo. IBMCs. Yeah, man. Master Detective dropped some gems in there, boy. I'm just seeing some of the stuff he wrote, boy. Jeez. Shout to Tom Arnott. Good to see you. Yeah, always good to see the crew in the building, man. We'll be back again next week. Hopefully, we'll get you some more information you might not never know nothing about. You know what I mean? It's always got to be done, man. Shout to King Crank 5. Yeah, we appreciate everyone locking in each and every week. Gleam, we see you, man. Let us know when you want to come back, bruv. You know what I mean? It was a good chat last time, man.
Yeah.
That's right, mother lovers. So, yo, peace out. We want to say thank you to everyone that was locked in. Make sure you hit up the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and please share around the information. Anything that you think people need to know, man, just share it to them. We're going to work on doing the snippets as well, man. We got to work on that to get some snippets out there so people get an idea, an inkling of what. Because I know some people are worried, they're a bit scared, like, yo, he's not talking
just
about.
short little clips would be 2 minutes at maximum or something. Just little clips to share on social media.
Yeah, man. But love always, man, for locking in. You know what I mean? It's some shit you might not never know nothing about. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mice Diggy. That's Dan DNA. And guess what? We're out.